My name is Harry Mwewesa. I come to you here presenting an episode for High Fast Media, which is a digital platform that comes to you as often as you can be able to visit your digital platform. We can also be found on our other social media platforms, on Instagram as High Fast Media, on Facebook High Fast Media, YouTube High Fast Media, and on the web www.highfastmedia.com. We are here. We are privileged to host Honorable Kasenge Kingfisher, who he's been the RDC Mukono. He does a lot of social philanthropic work, and he is a man of many hats. He was vying for the seat for Kawempe North, but somehow it didn't work out. The masses decided differently. I don't know whether it was the masses or it was the symbol decided differently, but he will be telling us a little bit more about that. But the reason we are here is to help us get an understanding into the political tides that are going on in the most recent times. But before I go into our conversation this morning, I would like to ask Honorable Kasenge to kindly introduce himself and say a little bit more about himself from his own mouth, so we can be able to pick it on from there.
Yeah, I welcome you, Harry, and I greet our viewers. Yeah, I'm privileged to host you. And now that we've introduced the issue is about leadership in recent times in our country and our constituency, I think I would like to wish our viewers a good time.
Thank you so much. Let me begin with now government is fully constituted. The legislature is fully constituted. The ministers, the executive is fully constituted, and of course the judiciary was not tampered with by the electoral process. We now have a new leader of opposition,
right?
Both in the name of Honorable Mpuga, but also as a political party, we have a new leader in opposition. Where do you see NUP succeeding where FDC failed?
Well, politics is very dynamic, and it is constitutional that must have a leader of the opposition, and the leader of the opposition should always come from the opposition party that has majority numbers of members of parliament, and that therefore gave NUP the upper hand to decide who should be, and Matthias Mpuga was appointed by NUP to be the leader of opposition. One is that opposition has it where it's supposed to be offering critical but also constructive criticism to government policies.
Yes.
And on the other hand, in Uganda, one would think opposition maybe is not a good word. The other word would be Oruwabuzi. And the Okuwabula goes along with the giving advice and guidance, because the nation is for all of us. In the past, we have had the opposition and the leaders of opposition, and all of them have made a contribution. But what I see that has been coming out more prominently than anything else is that as the word opposition is to a great number of them, the emphasis has been put on critiquing, but not constructively. What would even call critiquing has been politicizing government policies, and this has hampered development, because not all government policies are bad. They only need to be modified, they only need to be adjusted, and that issue and element or contribution of adjusting these policies would entirely be the main work of the opposition. So NUP, as it were, is a mixture, is a category of political parties.
Yes.
NUP as a party has an ideology. Sorry to mention, it was just a party, a marriage of convenience
Yes.
to most of these politicians who have for a long time vied to see His Excellency Yoweri Museveni out of office.
Out of office.
They have tried several times and through different means. This time, when they saw this young boy, young man, young politician and leader come up in his NOP, with his NOP thing, people power thing, they saw an opportunity that this time they had to make
That he
him
had a big block. He was coming
that
with in
they
terms
would
of the
see him
youth
seven leave.
voters.
So this made many politicians, majority of whom are opportunistic, try to see if this was another opportunity for them to come back into power. You see people who have served DP for so many years, these Impugas, these Namboze, and many others.
Yes.
So it's preferable to jump onto the NOP wagon. And therefore, what I see as the biggest challenge to NOP is that since they do not have an ideology per se as a party, and each one of these leaders from FDC and from DP and from elsewhere, and even some kind of pro-NRM people, are some of them are NOP-like.
Yes.
So that kind of mixture does not give you a firm ground
in which
to be able
build.
to manifest yourself and to have your ideas felt. And what is going to happen is that they are going to wear the heart of the opposition, but what will be driving them will be personal instincts and personal ideas, each one of them.
Yes.
Those who will be for Uganda issues, you will see them getting into Uganda issues more than anything else. Those who will be for their constituencies and making sure that they capitalize on their constituencies are going to do that way. And NUP already has a challenge as we talk now. When they were asked to constitute their government, shadow government, you realize that it is said, it's alleged, and it could be true, I can't rule it out, that they never consulted the other parties.
Yeah,
the
indeed,
parties that hold these candidates, these MPs, as their own in party ideology. They did not consult them, they gave them portfolios, and that already is making them fall out with FDC.
Yeah, because in the media we're privy, I'm personally privy to a letter from the FDC that was questioning the criteria, the basis for appointing their members as members of the shadow cabinet.
Yes.
And because I'm also inclined to this comparison, FDC came with a lot of momentum.
Right.
Because it had people who had experience on how government works, people who are considered to have been very close allies of the president, because it had
NRM people, basically.
Yes, NRM people. It had people that some were from the army, and it came with a lot of promise.
Right.
When they were forming from Reform Agenda, PAFO, Reform Agenda, and then FDC. And so we're seeing NUP comes with this promise that they are young. I don't know what else they promise, but where do we see this young energy? And the leader of NUP at one point said that all those were jokers. The opposition were jokers. You know, that's what he said on a public rally. Do you think really NUP's promise can be delivered?
Well, one, NUP was nurtured or was ushered in with the basic principle of changing government and of winning government power, or winning the election and therefore getting into power, which obviously they failed to achieve. And that was the biggest blow that they got. And I think some of them, their ambitions shattered. They could not believe that NUP, with the way it appeared, particularly here in Uganda, that NUP could not be able to win this vote. So you realize that they were disappointed, greatly disappointed. and therefore they were uh, kind of disappointed and frustrated. Then when they are in the opposition, are you asking me whether they will be able to achieve much more than the FDC achieved? I do not really see much that they are going to be able to achieve unless they change their approach to politics and leadership. If they changed from politics, as it were, to leadership, because what is wanting in this
But
country
that's what
is
their
not
principal has
politics.
said, that he's not a politician, he's a leader.
Yes, well, if that comes true and that they can live by it, they might be able to make an impact on this government, in this country. Because what has failed most of the people, including people, some of us in government, is that we have failed to be leaders and have preferred to be politicians. Politicians do not stand by their words. Politicians are not principled. Politicians are like chameleons. So you keep changing goalposts. That does not benefit this country. That does not benefit the Ugandans. What would benefit a Ugandan would be a leader, no matter whether you're opposition or not. Are you making a contribution to the welfare of the people? Are you improving? Are you answering the challenges the community have? Communities have so many challenges.
Yeah, what you just painted, you're right. What you just painted is the reality.
Right.
But of course, the ideal, a politician should be able to identify the problems of the people have and make
Look for a solution, right?
The right prescription. If you do not define the problem well, you can't prescribe any better.
True.
If you prescribe without going to understand the problem, then you certainly will prescribe wrong medicine.
True.
Now that brings me to Kawempe in particular. What would be the, like, if you sat with your member of parliament, what would you point out as the 4 main challenges that Kawempe faces?
Well, Kawempe is one of the 5 divisions of municipal divisions of Kampala, and they have peculiar issues. And if you ask me to advise our current member of parliament, Honorable Sejirinya, I would say that one, abantu be Kawempe okumala ekiseera kiwanvu tebabadde na muntu atuusa ddoboozi lyabwe mu parliament. Eddoboozi kitegeeza nti omuntu awuliriza ebintu ebikwata ku bantu, bye bandyagadde byogerweko, bye bandyagadde binogerwe eddagala, n'aba nga abitwala n'akozesa omukisa gw'okuba nti omukisa yagufuna okubeera mu parliament okubyogerera, n'atabuukira buukizi nsonga za ggwanga zokka, naye n'abanga ensonga zino ez'abantu be ab'omu kitundu. Kuba ebizibu ebyaffe wabiyinza okuba bifaanagana ne Makindi n'ewala, naye bwe tuba nga tulina omukiise yanditutte ebizibu ebyaffe nga byaffe ebisaana okunogerwa eddagala kuba bwe buvunaanyizibwa buba bumukwasiddwa. Therefore, that effective representation is through consultative meetings. Omuntu n'agamba nti abasomesa, abantu abatali bakozi ba gavumenti, abantu abagwa mu mbeera ey'obusuubuzi, abantu abali mu mbeera ey'okukola emirimu emisomerere, ba professionals, abantu abali mu mbeera eterina kyali, ghetto dwellers, the vulnerable population as we call it, bo bagamba ki ng'abatuukirira, ng'ateekawo embeera ebasisinkana, abakulembeze abeerosi ab'ebyalo balina challenges ki? Wakati ebizibu ebiri wano bingi ate nga biri mu bantu baffe wansi. So obugamba nti nabeeranga bubeeze mu parliament neninda bannange bye baleese, aba government policy zereese, nenjogera ku ezo. Kawempe ba MP be tubadde tubeera nabo nga tumulaba nnyo bw'ateesa mu parliament, naye nga tabulwa mukisa gutega ba cameras ku mulyango gwa parliament n'ayogerera awo, n'ayogera n'adda mu byanne bye baayogedde. Kawempe si kyayagala. Twagala omuntu alina omugongo, omuntu agenda okutunulira ensonga mu bwesimbu, n'ateesa mu parliament, ne tumulaba ng'ateesa ate n'akomyawo n'ebivuddeyo. Tajja kukomyawo birungi byereere nti buli abatuuze kye bamusaba kikoze, but as part of accountability, even that feedback that I have not been able to deliver on this, we have not received progress, we have not made progress on this matter, and these are the issues, is already good enough to the people who vote.
What are those specific issues?
Now coming to the specifics of Kawempe, one would be, call it People talk about, call it drainage. Drainage compounds with the hygiene and sanitation. Emyala giri bubi abantu baffe kati enkuba eno nga bwetonye bw'okkirira wansi awo okutandikira awo ku bypass n'osomoka wansi wali bayitawo kyamuka ng'agenda ekamoja ku bypass ku Passover church n'ebitundu ebirala ne wansi eno mu katale waffe ne we bayita mu kakungulu ne sayidi eri mu kirokole ogenda ddala mu kiyanja sayidi eri mu kikuubo ekanyanya ebifo ebyo kati enkuba bw'etonnya bweti bibooze amazzi omuli ebiveera ebiyitirivu abantu toilet bazisumuludde kasita yatandise ekiro ne basumulula ne bajjamu gaggata ago ge bateekamu ne bata kazambi. So embeera ey'obujama, embeera ey'akasasiro, embeera ey'obutaba na kabuyonjo, embeera ey'emyala egitagogolwa myaka na myaka, emiyiga ya myala ne gibeera nga givululira mu maka g'abantu abaana mwe bazannyira. Eyo ndooza emu ku nsonga ezisinga obukulu ennyo mu nsonga zino mu abantu byaffe ab'e Kawempe.
And that is also affecting a quality of life.
Yeah, of course. Zireeta endwadde, diarrhea, dysentery and many others mu mbeera eyo. N'olwekyo ekyo kikulu nnyo eri omuntu munnakawempe. Challenge ey'okubiri ennene okufaanana ng'ebitundu ebirala by'eggwanga, tulina big population y'abavubuka. Abavubuka abatasomye n'abasomyeko bali mu buli kitundu wano waffe mu Kawempe. Kakati be bali mu ghettos, be bali mu bibinja, obasanga ku Puulu, obasanga ku Luddo, obasanga ku Mweso, okuva ku makya paka leka guno omuggalo guliwo. Naye ne mu mbeera eza bulijjo ng'abantu bali supposed kubanga bali mu mirimu bakola, bali mu kikubo, bali luddawa, abavubuka obasanga abayitirivu mu mbeera eyo butabaako kye bakola, tebali productive. Therefore wadde ng'eyo challenge ya gavumenti yonna, naye ffe ng'ab'e Kawempe naffe omubaka waffe asaanye alabe bw'asobola okukwatagana ne gavumenti ne ministry ya gender n'abazirakisa abagabirira obuyambi eriyo embassies ezisobola okuyamba mu mbeera zino ng'abantu tulazeeyo obwetaavu bwaffe, abavubuka baffe babeere rehabilitated, and that rehabilitation should one make them skilled and meaningfully skilled. Meaningfully here meaning nti ebintu ebiri basic, ebintu ebikola amakulu bye birina basomesebwa, ebintu ebinaabafuula abantu abatwala ekitundu mu maaso, ate nga baba bafunye skill bali equipped ne bye banaakozesa bye beetaaga okukozesa. Kuba ekyali challenge eri gavumenti, abawala basomeseza wano ekigoowa, babasomeseza buli yonna gye babasomeseza, naye naaba nga skill tasobodde gisa mu nkola kuba taweereddwa bikola, tafuddeyo na bikola. So ekiri meaningful kulaba nga one, gavumenti mu mbeera y'ekibuga nga wano teyandiroozeza na ku constituency eyo yonna Kawempe North nti esaanamu polytechnic oba technical school. Twandyetaaze buli muluka oba bagatte emiruka bagiclusteringe bagende nti buli miruka esatu gitekebwemu polytechnic oba technical school, technical center where girls and boys n'abantu abakulu abakyasobola okufuna skills zino bajje bazifune freely, ate babeere equipped nga bamaze okufuna skills zino okuba nga basobola okuzi-implementinga. Kubanga knowledge that is not implemented or that is not applied is useless. Yes, it's useless.
Kakati waliwo needs which are central government, which can be got from legislation
from government.
From government. Then waliwo is a local government. Is allocation at local government level adequate, and is it properly used?
We have had the problem for some good time now, since I think Kampala became an authority. The powers of the divisions, as it were, I was a division councillor one time, and I was a minister in charge of education, information and culture in Kawempe. Then later I was a district councillor representing Mulago and Cheva, and I was in charge of education and sports in the whole of Kampala. The problem is that during that time we had the roles as divisions, and we had resources and a budget. Each division had a budget. So, and we as leaders and members of the executive would sit and say which road in this area, which school to be rehabilitated, which health center, that kind of thing. For some good time now, this kind of responsibility or power sharing had been interrupted. It's only now, I think with this new Kisanja now, that the divisions are going to have that mandate once again, that they are going to be working on things, and maybe that idea of full decentralization is going to come back to Kampala, as it were. Otherwise, the issues that the division should work upon, that include roads, these Maram roads or feeder roads, if as it were. These roads are very bad all over Kawempe.
Yes.
They have come, the gullies, the gullies have eaten them up, and some roads are impassable, totally impassable. And therefore, this would be one of the key responsibilities of the division, of the mayor at the division and his councillors, to see to it that these roads that are not tarmac roads are good roads, that they are maintained, that they are repaired and regularly maintained. So that would give some kind of relief to our people, and that would improve welfare of the people and maybe the commercial activities. Then the other one would be at the division. These were supposed to make sure that they look into the issues of primary education in Kawempe. And primary education not only being limited to government schools, yes, but I think that role also has not been well played. Many of these schools, starting with the government schools, have a long time not been well supervised. The commitment of the teachers, the commitment of the head teachers themselves as the key leaders of these institutions is lacking. Then the provision of real holistic education in these schools. Many of them say government gives us little money, government tetuwa sente zimala, ensonga lwaki abaana tetubakozesa mizannyo. Many of these schools are not exploring and improving or polishing our children's talents. Yet we know that not all of these children are going to be helped by the academic line. Their skills, whether running or mazina, katemba, kuyimba, mupira, kubaka, bisobola okubafuula ab'omuwendo. Our team has been going in piecemeal to the Olympics. Yes. Some of these people going to Olympics have not all that learned. In Zikulu, by the time she got us a gold medal was in senior 3, I think. Yes. Zikulu is a resident of this village. She's my neighbor, this corner. So, but she managed to get a gold medal. And that gold medal has earned her a good living, meaningful living. A house was constructed for her and all that. So if we say school that does not really support children to do these co-curricular activities on pretext that they are not getting enough money, I think that is a disservice for our people in this community, that children cannot be helped to polish their talents. Now, when it gets to health services, the health sector, yes, at the division, they normally appoint a gender or social services secretary. And this one is supposed to look into education and also health. Now, on the side of health, I think whereas government is supposed to provide salaries for the staff and the drugs for the hospitals, still the issue of the management of these health units lies with the divisions. Yes. And these divisions are the ones that appoint even members to sit on the management committees of these health centers. Yes. But these management committees are not functional. And that has given liberty, freedom to these staff to be able to either misuse drugs or to abuse their work by not being committed to the service of the people. In many of these health centers, people complain, abasawo tebajja, bajja late, bagamba amasalijja mu weekend n'atajja, ate bwe bajja.
We would like to hold it at that point, and we'll be right back, and we'll be following up our conversation with Honorable Tom Fisher, who has hosted us here for this episode.
Do you know what's in your area or around you? We bring you local programming in and around the world with well-researched news from a team of well-trained journalists. Don't miss current news coming to you in the comfort of your kafunda, traffic, in your living room, at work, market, office, border, whether on phone, tablet or computer. High-Fast Media digital platform engages users and subscribers everywhere. Tune in now by one click on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and our website. High Fast Media, connecting audiences.
Unemployment is one of the challenges faced by Uganda, with statistics putting unemployment rate at 64% of the youth population. Could it be the government policy on job creation is a lip service? Or it's because the youth representation in the government is just a name and not a service? Hi, I'm Kathy. Join me on Youth Echo as we discuss matters and challenges faced by the youth today. On High Fast Media, just right where you are, via our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. High Fast Media, connecting audiences.
You are welcome back from that short break, and my name is Harry, and this is The Correct Line. That is an episode of High Fast Media, and we would like to invite you to follow us on all your social media platforms, on Instagram, High Fast Media, Facebook, High Fast Media, YouTube, High Fast Media, and Twitter, High Fast Media, and then www.highfastmedia.com. You are welcome. You were telling us about health and interventions in health that need to be looked into in helping Kawempe North, the community in Kawempe North.
Yeah, what I was trying to point out to the gaps.
Yes.
And these are some of the gaps that the leaders, and particularly those at the level of the division and maybe at the district, and as an oversight role, the member of parliament, try to see that they are worked upon. So I was talking about the commitment. I was talking about the health center management committees that are not functional. They don't hold meetings. They don't come to inspect the health centers. The days that the medicine, the drugs are being delivered at the health center, no one of the community leaders is there to witness and see how many boxes of coatem and all that. So that is really lacking. And now, the other one is that these health centers, or rather in the health sector, there's need to reach out to the community by organizing what you would call medical camps.
Yes.
These health centers, the one we have here in Kawempe is in Komamboga. Komamboga from here to a sick person is a very long distance.
It's a long distance, especially considering that there is no ambulance facilities.
Yes. Right. So now, if what would address that gap of accessibility to medical services would be that they arrange quarterly on a frequent basis, reach out medical camps that people are assisted to check on pressure, abantu babakebere sukali, abantu babakebere abakyala babakebere cancer w'amabere, abakyala abantu babakebere bwabawe embere kebera amannyo, sector ya dentist nabo babalete, opticians. I was visiting my dad down there. He's in the next zone, and he told me he can no longer read and he feels bad. He cannot even write, or even that what he wrote recently, he cannot be able to read. So I was telling him I'm going to take him to Naguru and you get these specs. Now these are the issues, but a person like my dad down there cannot be able to go to Mengo. He doesn't have the money first and foremost, and the way of getting there and all that. So that outreach is not there. Now these outreaches must be made regular, and they must be made to reach the corner, spread out, reach out to the people.
Now your MP has hit the ground running. Started a hospital, Kawempe North Hospital,
right?
And he has started the Segi Box, which is a saving arrangement for homes and what. Is this informed by you, the constituents, or are they good ideas that he sits somewhere and come with? Are they going to answer the actual needs of people of Kawempe?
Well, that is his own personal initiative, and but Of course, everything comes with its own challenges. Outrightly, one would say that should not be his responsibility to provide the service, because government is there. And as I said earlier on in our discussion,
promised porridge to every home, and he's going to give posho to every home, and I think he's going to be distributing 100,000 to every family. He has gone even before Nabanja.
Yes, but that is our this is our Uganda now. That's how people can be able to work on our minds, and our minds, on our psychology, to be able to capture our hearts. And I think they feel he could not probably be. He's not the only one. There are many others who have done the same. And I think to the community, to the electorate, yes, he's scoring. He's scoring. Since we had MPs, we have never had an MP put up a clinic. They have only been able to, some of them have been able to put to buy ambulances. But these ones also, these facilities come with their own challenges. And sustainability is one of them. The quality of service, delivery is another, and all that. So, but I would think that whereas that is not bad for him to do, the best approach that should have come first would be to kind of do what you would call a baseline survey.
A baseline, and get it so that
you need to have a baseline.
Up,
yes. In that baseline, you would be able to know what are the real things to handle. The community, what are they ranking as their number 1 or 2 or 3 challenges that I should address?
Yes.
How do they feel about what is so far being done? Where are the gaps, the existing gaps? And you may find that some of the existing gaps, as I've already mentioned, can be mended through vigilance, through commitment, through being strict on
the community,
being strict on things being done the right way. Because what is lacking in Uganda today, basically, is not that we don't have things. It's not that we don't have resources. It's not that we don't have what we require. All this is in place as far as I'm concerned. But what is lacking in Uganda is that seriousness to have things done the right way. People do things, abantu bakola muganda chaita kanagwera mweyo. Balikebera mu fayiro. Bakola kyenyeje. So ne bakola ebintu ebitatuuse. Mukola ebintu ebyo bitatuuse nga ate tebabonerezeddwa, tebakangavuddwa, kireesa enkola okuba ennafu mu buli kitongole. Mu byenjigiriza ne tuba banafu, mu bya security poliisi nekola byesanze, mu by'ebyobulamu nga bwe mbyogeddeko abasawo ne batajjanjaba abalwadde, eddagala ne balimeza ebigere ne litambula, mu by'enguudo ne bakola oluguudo olutatuuse. Bwe baba bazimba essomero ne balizimba oba latrine, osawo bandibadde batabula akasawo ka sementi kamu wheelbarrow 3 oba 4 oba 5, ekintu ekiri mu bills of quantities, ne batabula wheelbarrow 10.
Awo embuuza honorable, ekiva kuki? Why? Because bw'otunulira private schools, amasomero ge bwannannyini, tegasasula. Most of them don't pay better than government.
No, they don't. Certainly, they don't.
Obulwaliro buno private clinics or hospitals. Government pays better. Where is the problem?
The problem is what I'm hinting on. One is that effective supervision is lacking.
Why is it lacking?
Effective implementation of government programs. There's laxity, and the basic, the real gist of the matter is moral decadence.
But the moral decadence, I understand moral decadence on the one hand,
right?
But why is it not applying to the private? Because these are the same people.
Well, what brings in a difference between the private and the government is that for government, you heard about Nyerere's Ujama villages.
Yes,
we used to teach that in history. Nyerere thought that he would manage his community by making everybody own everything. that everything was for everybody,
Yes.
for the whole
Sort of
community.
community.
So that Ujama thing is the same as the government things here in Kampala, in Uganda, that it is for everybody. It is therefore, at the end of the day, there will be no one squarely responsible. And that is what the problem is. Whereas in private, there's someone who owns it and who must see it done the way, you must satisfy him to pay you. Government will pay these teachers as long as they live and they are breathing.
Yes.
Even if they spent 5, 10, a whole year without going to school.
Yeah, that's
because there's no supervision, the teacher is there, he's on the payroll, the head teacher goes to do business, so he goes to see his people. No, that is it. But I think it is the government to blame. I squarely put this to government. And the government means the political heads, the political, we in government, we in NRM, we should probably find a way that we make sure that people we task to serve the community on our behalf.
Do serve the community.
Do serve the community. UPC, during their time, voted during his time of UPC, because he knew that these technical people were the ones to make things happen, because they are the ones who handle the money, the ones who sign the checks, the ones who can supervise the technical works. They made sure those people entrusted with positions of responsibility had UPC at heart, had the government at heart, and that whatever they did was to earn a credit for their government, which is not the case today. You go to this division in Kawempe to find out how many people are working, striving to ensure that NRM scores through these government programs. Out of 10, you might even not get 1. Yes, they're all for themselves.
Yeah. Also, of course, what is of course contradictory would be the members of parliament who are supposed to provide supervision are they themselves not standing up to the supervision they need. Of course, there are some members of parliament that will not attend parliament for 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
There are some who would just go there and sign in the book and in the attendance. As soon as the system acknowledges they are around, then they move out through another gate and they do not participate in any of the parliament, even at level of ministers. So where do they get the moral authority to even supervise government projects when they themselves don't measure up? Just quickly, and then we'll be talking about the issues of these just concluded elections. Why did we see NRM not performing that well in the central, especially the Uganda region?
Well, about government supervision of and implementation of government works in service delivery, I think,
and that was the basis for losing some of the areas.
To me, the problem lies with our president. And his problem, when I look at it, is that he's such a kind person that his kindness is becoming a problem to this country. Why I call it kindness is...
Just kindly look into the camera.
Why I call it kindness is that for a long time, when you were talking about these corrupt guys, he used to use Luganda. Nga lugamba nti ekitatta muyima tekimumalaako nteeze. That was a very bad thing to say. Ekitatta muyima. Omuntu akitegeera omuganda ne bw'aba tali muganda bakimunnyonnyola aba ategeera nti gwe ogamba nti kasita abantu bakyali balamu bajja kutereera, bijja kutereera. Naye munnayuganda ebintu bye tuyiseemu n'emyaka gino egy'okwefaako ffekka magendo biki kola njawulo, twayonooneka nnyo nti tetuli bangi abalina omwoyo gw'eggwanga mu ffe. We are not patriots. We don't have the country at heart. What we have is for myself, God for all of us, and it's only for ourselves. Whatever we think about, whatever money comes our way, even government resources, tulowooza nfunirawa, nfunamu ki, wano nkolerawo enjawulo. So I think he dropped that and is now coming out seriously to say tetwagala tolerating nguzi. And I was saying that the first test for this government ekisanja kino is this COVID relief money. Bwe tuba nga twagala kulwanyisa nguzi mu kisanja kino nga tebeewo, enkwata process eno gyekwatiddwamu erina okutumatiza nga bannansi nti tembadde bantu kwenonyeza byabwe. Kubanze nkitunuulidde mu mbeera ndala nti n'abawa gavumenti amagezi nti egabe bugabi ssente baali baduuyi ba gavumenti eno. Baali bipingamiizi abatayagaliza gavumenti eno kufuna credit, abatayagaliza gavumenti eno kukubirwako mu ngalo nti ekoze ekiriyo ekigasa, ne bagiwa amagezi amafu nti tugabire abantu ssente. Tugabire abantu bameka nti $5,000 mu Uganda, mu Kampala bameka nti 15 mu Kampala. 15 be baluwa mbu basomesa abali mu private, abakola mu masaji, aba taxi, aba boda boda. Tetutuse na tetumanyi tetulina na data yawe to begin with. There is no authentic data. Joiza government, this is the reliable authentic data information about private teachers in this locality. Nothing.
So, I mean, even as a teacher, you see that the approach of the question already is leading to a wrong answer.
Yes.
This can't work.
It can't work. You can't
What
reach
should have
the
been the
people.
ideal?
You can't reach the people. The ideal should have been that they should have probably through the leaders found out what do the people think that should be done. And the people, these people in the committee will tell you, ntojja kutuwa sente zitumatiza. Tosobola kutugabira mmere yabalimu tugabira. Olwa abantu abatamanyi byakukola. Mutukolere bino. Amazzi wonna buli wegali gabe gabwerere. Ng'ekimu ku byo. Buli awali amasannyalaze nga umeme gamanyi nga bandibadde bagabanja mu period eno yonna tebabanja omuntu ki amasannyalaze gavumenti ekikoleko. Ebigambo ebikwatagana n'obulwadde bwennyini okubukebera, testing of COVID has not been provided universally. Abantu babaterewo embeera ekebera buli muntu COVID bwe tuba nga tuli bakuteebwa tuddeyo tukole. Banatta buti gafula tugende tukole. N'abalina COVID nga tuli asymptomatic. Bateekewo embeera egema abantu. Nze bankuma jjaabu esooka. Jjaabu ey'okubiri ebadde ya leero 17. Badde ina okufuna jjaabu ey'okubiri. Bagambye ddala teririiyo, balisuubira wiiki ejja. Naye n'abatafunanga ne madaamu wano mukyalo wange tafunanga jjaabu mbereberi. Ne bantu benna mu maka wano basukka 13. Tekuli alina jjaabu okujjako enzo.
Naye malwaliro it is free.
Jjaabu esooka teriiyo eddagala lye baleeta bagamba ya jjaabu yakubiri ate yaabo ba essential babayita frontline whatever.
Frontline workers.
You see, I think government is letting us down on this one. Eddagala kyekikulu. Ekyo kireke nakyo naye nga kikulu abantu balina okugemebwa. Government ate nga yetugema. Naye n'abalwadde bennyini abalwadde ekimanyi nti tebasobola kwejjanjaba. Tebalina bujjanjabi, tebalina ssente zisobola kwejjanjaba. COVID watuuse, Covidex omuwulidde. Ka Covidex kano we bakagira. Akaali ku 5, kaali ku 2, Malaba netolo kali ku 7. This is what we are going through. Owulidde abantu gye bafa COVID ne babanja family emitwalo 7 babukadde 2 ne busuka ne mu 10. This is what we are going through.
Now, considering, because the idea of a lockdown should have been essentially to put those things in place.
Right.
And in the process of putting those things in place, people needed to eat and live.
Yes.
Because what you're prescribing really would still leave behind somebody who doesn't have food.
Yes, as I was saying, if we did it in the way through participatory involvement of the leaders and the stakeholders. We, for instance, here I'm the Sabakist of the parish of Kamoja, Holy Trinity Parish. Yes. Now we started a charity initiative on WhatsApp. The admin of the church, Jared, is receiving materials and money on mobile. Yeah. Now but we already know in each sub parish who are the needy people.
Who are the needy?
As a church, as a Catholic church. Probably the Muslims also know theirs. And the saved people have some. But even as a community, if as we go out, I'll show you the house of Jaja Nansamba, 86-old woman here. She doesn't have a phone.
Yes.
She doesn't have any of her
It's
grandchildren around
the poor
her.
when you say we are going to give you through a phone, because where do I have the first thing I would sell if I don't have food
you can't
will
reach
be
her.
my phone.
But if there was that kind of involvement, Kasaija, as our chairman here, would say, Jaja Nansamba wali here in this corner. There is Mugisha, he works at Pahai. He used to work. He's a Michigan man with his wife Nalo. But they are here, bedridden for over 5 years now. They just sit there. They were not contacted, and they were not included on the list, and therefore they have
And
no.
they certainly don't have no phone.
So, but if they had used the other approach, such people would be reached.
So, like you have been saying already, you are talking about participatory involvement.
Yes, of
which
the community.
But the LCs were
at a later stage. But do you know that to some extent, given the population in these towns, that the chairmen also are overwhelmed, that they do not really have that much needed information on their fingertips. If you asked our chairman here how many border riders he has in his village, you think he would tell you?
He would, and especially being in Sova, which is the biggest.
If you ask him how many taxi conductors and drivers reside in his. So systematically, those organized categories like taxis, their leaders should have been brought on board, and they should have agreed. Maybe if that was done, they would not come up with this figure of 500 people. Because 500 people makes you decide that a village of 10,000 residents, 8,000 of whom are vulnerable, and you tell them we need only 100 people to assist. Now, if you assist 100 people, where there are over 6,000 needy people, what will you have done? That's why I've been saying my sister, Robina is my sister and good friend. We are at this together. Now, they made her start on a very wrong note, and they have already spoiled her tenure as Prime Minister for the years that she will be Prime Minister. Because this man is called Nabanja Money. So the decision was made. She owns the decision as the head of the task force, but it was the wrong decision that was made. That really is going to has already tarnished government.
The show is the correct line. We are hosting on this episode Honorable Kasenge Tom Fisher, and we are talking about the issues of Kawempe North, and he is bringing us in touch with the realities. Honorable, I would like you to comment on about 2-3 issues in this particular constituency. One is on the youth unemployment and poverty eradication in this particular area, and of course the whole politics of Kawempe North. How are we moving on from here? And your personal advice to Honorable Segirinya on things that he should be. These are proposals to him. He is free to take them or not to take them. But what he could be looking at as a priority, because you are in this race because you loved Kawempe North, and you do not want to sit back and see it going to the drains. If you can offer some advice, we in the media give this kind of platform for you to be able to.
Yeah, well, the issue of unemployment, youth unemployment in Kawempe, actually it is a national issue, is one of the issues that must be addressed squarely by government. And actually I urge government to make this a priority project of making sure that the youth are made productive, the youth are made are skilled and are helped to become productive, and they made key contributors to the development of our nation. And that can be done so many ways, but one of the sure ways is skilling them and equipping them, and also assisting those who are already doing something, because there are some youths who have been able to start some projects on their own. Some carpentry workshop and some saloon, some, you know. So these projects need to be assisted meaningfully to make them come up. So those who are already in business, women, and I also want to tie it with the poverty eradication, that one, we need to have some scientific study, some research of sorts, to really know what must be done, what is prevailing to begin with, and what must be done. In finding out what is prevailing is why you'll be able to find those who are totally unemployed and unskilled. You will find those who are unskilled, rather who are unemployed, but they are skilled, but only lacking what to do and
or
what to use.
employability, or are they employable?
Yes. So that's research is very necessary. And then when you find out those who are already in some kind of business, some work, but they need to be boosted, to be helped.
Yes.
What they are calling, what Kasol was talking about was what? Myoga. That
yes.
Myoga type. Myoga was to target those who already have something they are doing, which needs to be strengthened financially. So that is what must be done to eradicate poverty, that you assist someone who are from the know to the unknown. Those who already have something they know, strengthen them, consolidate, make them consolidate what they already know and make them come, get up. This system of bringing money and giving it to groups of people and think that we are eradicating poverty is not going to work for this government. Wherever they give this money, whether a sack or 2 sacks, after leaving, this money is going to be just squandered, and there will be no impact at the end of the day.
Yes,
now, as a piece of advice to our legislator of Kawempe North, is one that I would like to ask him to be in touch with, or to be in touch with the ground, with us, with the people, and that he would like him to be a leader, like I've already said. He should not just simply be an opposition politician who is politicking on issues and making environmental matters politics, turning them into politics. Let him look at government programs and see where they need to be improved, and he comes out to improve, to advise, not to be a politician per se. So that is my piece of advice.
All right, thank you so much. Maybe just a bonus question. Who of the historical, if you had an opportunity to have dinner with a historical figure, living or dead, or who would that historical leader be? Just
in why? Uganda?
Generally.
Generally.
It's free, a bonus.
Yeah, well, there are many, but I think one of the historical people I would like to share a moment with is our aging Cardinal, Cardinal Wamala. He's still sound, and but there's a lot in him that really has helped me to, and as I was a leader in church and I continue to be a leader, there's a lot that he put to making me become a leader. So I think that is the one. The one for now, I would say I would love to share dinner with.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having tuned into the Correct Line on High Fast Media. We appreciate your followership, but we would like you to share and to share this conversation with as many as you can be able to reach in your social networks. But also follow us on all our social media handles on Facebook, High Fast Media, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Twitter. We are live on all those platforms, live, and want to wish you a great day. Thank you so much, and we look forward to another episode, yet another exciting episode on High Fast. God bless you.